You got Robert Downey Jr. is in this, so this should be good, right? Wrong. What's going on, everyone? It's Joshua from over here at Future Filmmaker 394 is our reviews where we talk film, TV, and music. I'm here to give you my review of the seventh. Can't believe this. The seventh movie based on the Dr. Dolittle character, Dolittle, initially called The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle. This is directed by Gaghan, starring Robert Downey Jr., features voice cast of Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, Academy Award winner Rami Malek, John Cena, Kamal Nanjiani, Octavia Spencer, Selena Gomez, Marion Cotillard, Ralph Fiennes, Tom Holland, and Craig Robinson. And Dolittle is basically about Dr. John Dolittle, this time played by Robert Downey Jr., living in solitude behind the high walls of his lush manor in 19th century England after his wife has passed away. His only companionship comes from an array of exotic animals that he speaks to on a daily basis. But when young Queen Victoria becomes gravely sick and ill, the eccentric doctor and his furry friends embark on an epic adventure into a mystical island to find a cure for the queen before she too dies, and then he loses his ability to basically talk to animals. And that's basically the plot of Dolittle in a nutshell. So let's get into Dolittle. But before I do, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification for when new videos are up, whether it's film reviews, TV reviews, music reviews, etc., etc. And with all that being said, all my social media links are in the description box down below. If you want to donate money to my channel, go ahead. You message me privately, you can do that. If you want to send fan mail, you can do that as well and message me privately. But Dolittle, let's get into it. When they announced a new Dr. Dolittle movie, I was basically, my only one thing popped into my head. Why? Because Dr. Dolittle was fine just the way it was. Now, for you guys out there, I am a fan of the two Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittles, Dr. Dolittle 1 and Dr. Dolittle 2. I grew up with those movies. I love those movies. Dr. Dolittle 3, the direct-to-video sequels, Dr. Dolittle 3 is easily the best of the direct-to-DVD sequels. But after Dr. Dolittle 3 and the first two with Eddie Murphy, I basically checked out with the fourth and the fifth one. Because, yeah. And then when it comes to the original Dolittle from 1967, I have not seen it, but I've heard some pretty bad things going on. But going into this one, knowing that Robert Downey Jr., he's coming fresh off the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Avengers Endgame, and with a good voice cast, this should have been something pretty interesting and something really cool. And I do know the production troubles with this movie costing a budget of $175 million, with them having to change the script, to change the direction, then studio interfere, and then this movie kept constantly getting pushed back and pushed back. So I still had the slightest bit of optimism, even though I was not wanting to see Dolittle. And so I watched Dolittle just a couple of days ago, which it's taking me long to get this review out now. And I'm just gonna say my other sister who loves Dr. Dolittle, she was right. You should have just left Dr. Dolittle alone. But let's get into some positives, because there are a few and far in between that I did like. I will say Robert Downey Jr., with this lackluster, lazy script that is provided for him, I will say Robert Downey Jr. is doing the best that he can. My only issue with him, as far as performance-wise, I can't tell what accent he is going for. He's going for an English accent, or he's going for or Welsh accent is like he's trying to blend his accent with Sherlock Holmes into it. But nevertheless, Robert Downey Jr., he is a great actor, and he is trying the best he can to make this movie work. Also, some of the voice acting, a lot of the voice actors in this movie are really good. The two child actors are great, but the voice acting is really good. Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, aka Bohemian Rhapsody, John Cena, who I know some people don't like the guy, but I personally like John Cena as an actor and as a wrestler. Kumali Nanjiani, Octavia Spencer, Tom Holland, Craig Robertson, Selena Gomez, Carmen Ejogo, Francis De La Tour, Selena Gomez, Mary Cotillard. It's good to have Tom Holland in here, so you do have two MCU alumni in here, so that was really awesome. I will say that the voice acting and the cast, they're really trying their best. Even Antonio Banderas, he is trying for what is required of him. And I will say that the music by Danny Elfman is very well done and is adventurous. I do like the cinematography, and the director, he does have a vision on what he was going for with this movie. And there were a few jokes that I didn't mind, but other than that, and also the animated opening, because other than that, this was bad. Okay, I give Robert Downey Jr. credit for trying to do something after Avengers Endgame, and like I said, he is not the problem. This cast is not the problem, except for Michael Sheen as the villain. He is the arch nemesis of Dolittle. His plan was so over. I have nothing against Michael Sheen. I love him as an actor. He was hemming it up as Aro in Twilight Saga: New Moon. As bad as that movie is, he was a bright spot in that movie. And you have good actors in here. And the problem is that between the director and the studio is clashing together. I'm not sure if it was Universal or if it was the director. And it got a little clash of the Titans thing with the studio interference, as usually happens in films. But it feels like this movie doesn't know what tone it's going for. One moment it's trying to be serious, one minute it's trying to be funny. It's like, I don't know what tone you're going for here. And from the opening animated intro of this movie, I was like, this could actually not be that bad. This could be a really fun film. Not one of the best movies of the year, but it could be one of the most fun movies. First 5 minutes, I was into it. But then, when it gets to the end, when it gets into the actual story of the movie, this story is not really much there. And whenever you watch a Dr. Dolittle movie, there is always a story there. Well, say what you want about the two Eddie Murphy movies, but they had great story. They had the interesting stories. They had some fun with them. And they didn't waste the voice cast, which the voice cast is really talented, and as great as they are, I feel like they are just wasted to their advantage. And then most of you, especially with Selena Gomez and Marion Cotillard, who you got Selena Gomez, who is a great singer and a good actress, and she's only in here for 5 minutes. Marion Cotillard, a very great actress. Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Allied, Assassin's Creed, which she did the best she could with that film. She's barely in the movie. They play a friendly giraffe and a red fox who is friends with Betsy. And so I'm like, why would you cast Selena Gomez and Mary Cotillard if you ain't gonna give them more to do? And Tom Holland, his talent is kind of wasted, but he is really trying. He is doing the best he can to make this material work. Everyone does the best they can, which leads me into the script and the writing. The jokes that they have to say in this movie, these animals, the words that all these characters have to spew out of their mouths. I feel like that the writing is just, it's not the greatest. It's very stale, it's very dry, it's very lazy, and most of the jokes for the entire hour and 40 something minutes is just not funny. I didn't laugh, and the biggest issue with the jokes is that you have John Cena. He has to say "bro" every 5 minutes. Bro, he's an upbeat polar bear, and I don't mind. But he has to keep saying "bro" every 5 minutes. Bro this, bro that. We get it. I use the word "bro." And then you have this, and you have this dragon in here, which I'm just gonna say it right now. This dragon, there is one scene in this movie where a dragon farts on Dolittle. Fart jokes are not funny. I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. That's not. And then this movie is rated PG, and then you're going for most of this juvenile, not funny humor. And then the effects on these animals are awful. The effects on, you have a budget of $175 million. I'm not sure if you were making this movie as I'm not sure if you looked at Cats. Cats has it has little to nothing good in that movie, but this at least has something good to it. But at the end of the day, the effects on these animals is just pretty bad. You have $175 million, and it doesn't really show because the mouth movements aren't really matching with these actors. And with movies like The Jungle Book 2016 and The Lion King 2019, you would think that we have moved past, they have upped their game as far as getting realistic animals in CGI and their voices to match them with the actors. You would think we have done that. This movie just took a complete 180 back, and it's like I'm just sitting there not really caring, not really interested in what's going on. And also, this movie is boring. This movie was quite boring and plain unnecessary. That's the main issue, is that this movie was unnecessary. You didn't need to do another Dr. Dolittle movie. It doesn't anger me as much as the turning, but it's just not a movie that I was really 100% interested in either. I just feel like this movie has no clear-cut direction. It doesn't know what it's trying to be. It doesn't know what tone you want to go for, because the tones that you try to go for are just not there. Again, it sounds like I'm gonna scream and yell. I'm not really screaming and yelling, but this is easily one of my least favorite films of 2020 so far, and we're only in February. So it's this and The Turning and Like a Boss. I don't like a Boss, but Like a Boss didn't really have tonal problems. Getting to the overall thoughts. All in all, Dolittle was exactly what I thought it was going to be. You had good intentions, and I could see what the director was trying to do, but at the end of the day, it does not. You have good performances. You have a few good things in here, and Robert Downey Jr. is really trying his best. But at the end of the day, I just don't think a new Dr. Dolittle movie was needed. I feel like you should just kept going with the ones with Eddie Murphy and Kyla Pratt, because at least those were entertaining, and they weren't so much of a drag. But at the end of the day, don't waste your time with Dolittle. If you're a fan of Dr. Dolittle, don't watch it. This is something that I think a 6-year-old will probably like, and I do like good family films, but Dolittle is just a waste of Robert Downey Jr. and a waste of all these great performances. It's just a waste. It is a waste. And this is Universal's second biggest bomb right next to Cats. So yeah, Universal, you are not having a good time right now. Hope Fast 9 is good, because that does look fun. As ridiculous as it is, and as much as I say Fast and Furious should have ended after part 7, that does look good. So yeah, but on my rating system, Dolittle, I'm gonna have to do it. I don't really want to do it, but I got to. I'll skip it. Skip Dolittle. Yes, guys, that was my review of Dolittle. What did you guys think of Dolittle in the comment section down below? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys keep it cool. Be sure to follow all my social media links in the description box down below. If you want to donate to the channel, you can message me privately on email, and I'll get back to you. If you want to send fan mail, you can do that as well. You guys keep it cool and join the Epitaskness.